Hi, I'm Scott Meredith Jones. I'm Principal Application Engineer.
Hi, my name's Koosha. I'm a Senior Control and Automation Engineer.
Hi, my name's Abby and I'm a Software Test Analyst.
My role with Connect V3 was more from a sort of specification and an advisory kind of role with the PC tool development team, so that they could sort of benefit from the sort of 31 years of experience that I've got in automation and tuning drives with the development. So for me, it's important to sort of talk about what we've done with Connect V3 because there's been so many sort of milestones met with this particular update. So in terms of the scoping, within terms of the accessibility of tuning for different levels of engineers, in terms of like a nice bright new kind of interface to kind of drag people in so that they're able to kind of work with our product in a meaningful way.
My involvement with Connect was basically prototyping a small part of the interface, and it's important for me to be talking about Connect today because this is actually a tool that's been specified by automation engineers like myself, and I feel it solves a lot of the real problems that I've come across in the field with my background as an automation engineer.
I was involved in the mid to end stage of Connect development as a tester and as a focus on usability. I think it's important to have this conversation as I want to promote the changes that have gone into Connect that are customer facing.
The design came about from a kind of project that we did a few years back called PLC Control Motion, and that project it took things a bit further. It gave us a nice guided setup to be able to configure the product, but where the PC programming framework that we were working in fell down is you didn't have anything that you could do whilst the machine was running. It was all kind of offline configuration. So what we realised was that we knew we needed something that could do the online stuff like tuning PLC, gains, PID gains, those kinds of things for the speed loop and whatnot. So rather than just talking to other people about what we should make this type of tool, we actually ended up taking some time and just writing this specification to say, look, this is exactly the kind of tool that we want. We went round all of the, the global applications community, didn't we? Had it approved, talked to tech support, got all of their input into this specification. And a couple of years later, after doing all of this, we managed to get the project started, and then we are where we are today with a nice looking tool.
How was the initial design developed?
So what I did, I actually took Scott's concept and actually put it into Codesys, and within Codesys there's actually a visualization tool.
Yeah.
So what that allowed us to do was take the key element of the new development, the new Connect effectively, and try it out for real. So we've got a way to invoke motion. We've got all the tuning related parameters in one place and an interface to modify those parameters, and then we've also got the oscilloscope to see the result of the modifications that you're making, and all of that's in one place. So what would normally require 3 different tools, we were able just to basically hit
it's to do on one screen.
On one screen.
So if you're like on site for real and you've got a laptop open, you've only got one screen.
Exactly.
So you want all of those controls all in one place. You don't want to be swapping to one thing to another thing, and we were able to do that. So instead of spending 6 months coming to the end of a design and never having tested it, Koosha was able to do that in about a month and a bit, something like that, which is very, very quick in R&D terms, and we were able to kind of show it to all of the development team, show them, look, this is not only here is this flat spec, here is this thing that you can go and use and you can try it for yourselves and kind of see the benefit of it.
Yeah, and then the feedback that we got from that, we passed over to the Connect team obviously, and they're all then able to develop the PC tool.
What was done to test that the new design met the needs of our engineers and customers?
So initially we went based off of feedback we'd already received for version 2 of Connect from our customers already out in the field. So we implemented that in the development process and built tools around that to make their lives easier. Following on from that, we then went straight into HCD testing, which is human-centered design, and I got in a group of varying experienced engineers and customers from both internal and external to the company to help us test it to make sure, first of all, it worked, secondly, it worked well and in a way that was understood to most people, and then we followed that back into the development, and then when that when the changes there were implemented, we brought it back out and retested it to make sure that it did do what we thought it would do and we would make it easier, and it did.
What does the future hold for Connect V3?
So, from my point of view, there are a bunch of things that we still need to keep on working on, you know, like what we've got today. From a kind of feature improvement perspective, you know, being able to have the oscilloscope work across multiple nodes within a project, because at the moment you use the scope and it can access all the parameters of that one particular drive. For the next updates, you'll have the ability to do that, but across all of the drive nodes in the project. So if you're tuning, for example, a winder, you know, so that's where you're unwinding some material and you're rewinding it at the end after some process has happened to it, you might well want to monitor the tension control on both of those. So that's like one example where having like a multi-node scope so that you can monitor those things at the same time and to be able to set parameters at the same time will help. So that kind of functionality is going to come in for multi-drive networks on top of all of those things that we should know we've got to do. It's more about just listening to customer feedback, you know.
Yeah.
It's like we both end up talking to customers and, you know, and kind of hearing their pain points. We've just got to keep feeding all of those things sort of back in, you know.
Yeah, potentially, you know, we could even tailor it to industry verticals, you know, so HVAC, elevator, and so on. So, you know, it's...
Well, yeah, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. It's just the beginning, so, yeah.